How do you approach a guy that you're interested in?
I don't. I give them the eyes. If he's looking at me, then I'll look at him and I give him the eyes. And then if he comes up to me, then he comes up to me. If he doesn't, then he doesn't. On to the next.
So you'd say you give him choosing signals?
Yes.
If a girl starts ignoring you, here's exactly what you're going to do. You're not going to ask her what's wrong. You're not going to send her another message. And you're definitely not going to try to solve a problem that she's not even communicating with you. The only thing you're going to do is nothing. Because women who are genuinely interested don't just disappear without a word. Her silence is closure, and it's everything you need to know in order to move on. So pick yourself up and find someone who actually deserves your effort.
And this next season, I just want to break. My heart just need a break because I am tired of giving unconditional love to conditional people. I am tired of being liked and not chosen. I am tired of being seen, heard, but never truly valued. Y'all, I am tired. I am tired of being the strong person. I am tired of being the person who understands. I am tired of being the person who takes the higher road. I am tired of giving and never getting it back.
A lot of these modern women are thinking that men are going to wait forever. They're putting in the man in the friend zone, thinking that he's just going to be there waiting. And that's not the case.
Ran into a guy that I rejected in the 7th grade. And now he's super hot and he makes ambient rap music and he's kind of blowing up and he had a Polish model on his arm.
Wow.
Meanwhile, I was wearing bike shorts as an outfit.
This happened to me. This one guy that had a crush on me forever. Like, he has the hottest girlfriend now where I'm just like, I would be trash to him.
Yeah, that's the thing is I felt like in his presence, like seeing him again, I was looking at him and like the girls that were kind of like his entourage for the night. And I was like I would literally be scraping the bottom of the barrel. He told me that like I was the first girl that he like ever talked to, ever flirted with or anything. And I'm like, you've really come a long way. Meanwhile, I have not. I'm still dating guys that look just like you in the 7th grade.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
And I've always believed that if a man truly, really loves you, anything that you want and need, he will make it his goal to accomplish that for you. So it becomes his need to make sure he's pleasing you because you bringing peace and happiness into his life.
I could agree with that. I'm glad you said if it's being reciprocated. Mm-hmm. But you did say anything.
Yeah, almost anything.
I don't agree with the anything.
Why?
Because at some point a man has to say no. He has to set a boundary. I feel like if you're in a relationship as a man, I can understand a woman, wanting certain things and a man, contributing to her wants and needs. But at some point, a man got to have some kind of backbone. It's got to be some boundaries at some point. Let's say she's spoiled.
So a lot of these modern women are wanting men to continue to approach, but they continue to disrespect a man. I'm not 100% sure why y'all think that's going to work, and it isn't.
I don't mind if a guy is not looking cute, but his wallet has to be cute. Can you just give your short story? How did you guys meet? Anything. Okay, so I don't think we look good together and I don't believe in that also. I think I look good and his wallet is cute. That's what I'm worried about also. I don't mind if a guy is not looking cute, but his wallet has to be cute. And short story, actually it's a 15 years long story, but the good part is every time I touch anything and I want anything, he was always there. Okay, baby, you want this? I can give you even better than that. So I think that is the best part about our relationship and I really enjoyed that. Thank you so much.
All women are 304s. Nope. There is no such thing as traditional women anymore. Wrong. Women simply aren't worth it. What does that even mean? I am so tired of all of this negativity. Are you going to insist that masculinity is about growth, suffering, and overcoming difficult things? And then just not date because it's hard? Are some of you really so pessimistic and self-hating that you will just resign yourself to never feeling love and affection? Are you really going to sit here and insist that you have all of the answers to dating and then just refuse to pass those answers on to a woman who is ready and willing to please you? Tell me, what battle are you even fighting? You insist there's a problem, but you aren't trying to actually solve it? What is the point of all of this other than to just kick and scream? There are a lot of great women out there looking for men with your values. Go meet them, be strong in your convictions, and enjoy the life that you can create with them. Because the negativity has got to stop.
A lot of these modern women don't understand that your entitlement, your level of delusion, all of that is real loud. And men are real quiet. Because I'm not going to entertain BS and nonsense. That's what I'm not going to do.
I just had 5 grown men walk by, able-bodied men walk by as I struggle to like carry all of my shit and help this poor mother with 3 children carry her stroller down the stairs. They just looked and kept walking. I'm literally like dropping my umbrella and everything. They just keep on walking.
Women now videoing themselves, right? And saying, oh, all of these guys didn't help this woman, but I did. And I'm like, all these able-bodied men, they're just not even, not even helping, and they don't even want anything. And I had to stop and well, yes, honey, because for years they did help. I don't know how many times we have to say it, but for years and years and years, guys did all of those things. And then one day, feminism got plunged into all of your tiny little brains, women. And you decided that you didn't want guys to do anything for you anymore.
We say, a man has to be 6 foot, make 6 figures, and have a 6-pack. But nowadays, for modern women, not even that is enough. Not even that is enough. You don't know what these modern women are thinking.
My boyfriend and I have been living together for 1.5 years now, and he's moving out next week.
Okay, I don't know if you've seen this video, but she then goes on to say that they're not breaking up. He just wants to live with his little brother. Even if they haven't lived together before, which in a normal childhood, brothers normally live together. But let's just say maybe they're long lost brothers. They've never lived together before. Have the brother move in or get a townhouse together or an apartment together. That's the ideal scenario. Not I'm gonna leave my girlfriend to go hang out with my little brother, who also already lives a mile away from the guy. Is that not close enough? You also need to sleep with your brother? She is Delulu. I'm not hoping for their downfall. I hope she loves living alone and dumps his ass before he dumps her, because that's obviously not.
You know what doesn't change someone's low effort behavior when you first meet them in the early stages of dating? I'll never forget I was dating this guy, and when we first matched, it was so difficult to even have a conversation with him. Everything was him arguing with me, being super defensive, deflecting, not giving me any space to say anything. And this still went on the date with him because I genuinely believed maybe I'm judging him too harshly by his voice notes, and maybe I'm just not giving him enough of a chance, and maybe I should just go out with him because there's nobody else, and I was desperate. And then I found out from 3 other of my friends who had gone out with him that they had the exact same experience. So if somebody is showing you that behavior early in dating, you don't need to go out with them and try to change them. You need to accept who they show you that they are and move on with your life. And I get it, you could be lonely and dating can be tough and you want to make it work because you're hoping that this is going to turn into something. But you don't have to convince yourself that this is enough because there's nobody else. I'd much rather be alone than in bad company, which is also why you date. So start to ask those hard questions, start to get curious and sit with how you are feeling. I don't give a how you feel about them, I care how you feel with them, because if you felt how uncomfortable I was, that would have been the biggest red flag to run, and not towards them, baby.
If single men aren't showing up to your events, if not even the desperate guys are showing up to your events, then maybe it's time to start asking questions about why men don't want to be around modern women. What are we doing that's making a man not want to be around us?
When you are with a real man, this is what happens. Number 1, he isn't always available for you because he has priorities. You are not the center of his universe, honey. I'm sorry. Number 2, he will not drop everything just because you're sad or upset. Yes, your feelings matter, but they don't get to hijack his whole entire day. Number 3, when he says no, it's no, period. And that doesn't make him a jerk, okay? That actually means that he has a spine. Number 4, he refuses to have the same fight for the 5th time because peace really matters to him, a lot. And if that makes you mad, you might just be addicted to chaos. Number 5, he takes care of himself first. Does that make him selfish? No, but who likes to pour from an empty cup? Number 6, he will not chase you when you pull away. Nope, he won't do it. He will leave your ass. And if you don't believe me, Just watch him, okay? He's not begging anybody to stay. Number 7, he is steady, consistent, and predictable. If you are used to drama, that will feel boring. But to the right woman, that is going to feel like safety. And number 8, he needs all the time. Yes, girl. Men who are ambitious, driven, and goal-oriented have high amounts of testosterone. So be ready to give it to him all of the time, or be ready to be replaced fast. Good men don't bend over backwards for you. They're building, and they're busy building a life worth having. And if you can't handle that, then stop wishing for it, because you're not ready for it.
Modern women don't understand. In one breath, you can't call a man unnecessary, not needed. And, well, your skill set is obsolete. And then in the next breath, all the men, they all passing me up and nobody stopping to help me. Huh. I wonder why.
To the single women that constantly spew all over the internet, men can't handle a strong, independent woman. He's not afraid of a strong, independent woman, and he's not intimidated by a strong, independent woman. What he doesn't like is competing for masculinity within a relationship. And there's a big difference. You can be a strong, independent, feminine woman and get into a relationship with a man and still have a feminine side. But when you are a masculine woman and you get into a relationship with a man and you're constantly combative with him and competing for that masculine place in the relationship, that is what men don't like. And no, a man is not going to date a woman that sees herself as a strong, independent woman who acts very masculine, because he doesn't want a masculine woman. He wants somebody that is soft, that he can come home to, that he can lean into and melt into at the end of the day. He doesn't want somebody that he gets home and all she's doing is nagging and yelling the minute he walks through the door. And if he does one thing wrong, it's an argument. That is not what the man wants. And yes, he can handle a strong, independent woman, but she also has to be feminine. So there's a big difference there. So if you're still walking around in your masculine energy, feeling like no man can handle you, no man doesn't want to handle you. There's a big difference. Let me know in the comments below if you agree, disagree, have input. As always, like, share, and follow.
A lot of these men, they're choosing peace. They're choosing solitude. They're choosing to check out. You look at this, what modern women are doing in the single life with the way that y'all be acting is looking better and better.
So I just watched a video where a woman says that she left the man that she loved for the man that she deserves. And I just want to say, I find it very interesting that all these women are out here leaving what they describe as a good man, a loyal man, a faithful man, a man who has been good to them, who loves them, because they say he doesn't make enough. It all comes down to money. We know that, because when you start talking about what it is that you deserve, you're not talking about a better man. You're talking about a man who has more money, a man who can provide the quote unquote lifestyle that you feel you and your future, not even existing, future children deserve. I find it very interesting, and I'm highlighting and focusing on some words here because I want you guys to understand that when you spend time with someone, when you spend years with someone who believes that they are pouring into you and that they are being poured into, who believes that they are growing with someone. This woman said she was with this person for 10 years and decided to leave him. I find it so interesting, and I want you to understand that when you find that man you believe you deserve, and he turns around and he does the same thing to you, it will be what you deserve. When he leaves you high and dry, because it was never about love, and instead it was about the tangible things, and when you no longer look how you look, and when you no longer behave how you did pre-children, and he leaves you because there was no feeling or emotion, no commitment to you, there was just a transaction, that will be what you deserve. Period.
A lot of women gonna find themselves lonely, man. A lot of women gonna find themselves lonely. I don't think they believe it, I don't think that they think it's real, but a lot of women, with the way that they act, the way that they do things, the way that they treat men, especially the guys that are doing right by them, and find themselves lonely.
A lot of people get this wrong, but avoidant men can be some of the most loving, dedicated, loyal men that you could ever be in a relationship with. Now, when it comes to avoidant attachment, there's two subcategories within that avoidant attachment. One is a manipulator. The other one is an ethical avoidant man. Both are avoidant men, but one is one that you kind of want to stay away from, and the other is one that you kind of want to not necessarily shy away from or dismiss right away. Now, avoidant men tend to attract anxiously attached women. They're like two polar opposites. And I can tell you from my personal experience, I'm anxiously attached, or was anxiously attached. I worked really hard at it. And my fiance, you guessed it, he's an avoidant. And for the first time when I got into a relationship with this man, I realized that he was not a jerk. He was not a bad guy. He had no idea how to receive love. He truly did not even understand that there were little things that I was doing for him throughout the day, and he did not receive those as like a loving thing. And then when I asked him, what are the ways that you receive love? There's usually 7 ways to receive love. He had no idea what he was. He had no idea how to receive love, period. Okay? And it had to do a lot with his upbringing. He was never hugged as a little kid. He was kind of left to figure things out on his own. He grew up thinking that that's just the way the world works, that I'm solo dolo, I'm by myself. Now, I was the polar opposite of that. If he didn't answer a text, I would freak out, I would spiral. Everything that I talked to you guys about, I went through myself, okay? And in order for us to work, in order for us to be here after 7 years together, I really needed to look in the mirror. Even if I were to find somebody better for myself, right? Because that's usually what the advice is if he's not doing it, if he won't, someone else will. Well, if you're not going to fix yourself, you're going to run into the same issue with another partner. I knew that I needed to fix my attachment style, because nobody wants to be with somebody who's constantly like, do you love me? Do you want? Reassure me. And I know that I needed a lot of that in order for me to feel safe in the relationship. And at one point, I was like, this is not going to work with him. This is not going to work with anybody. So I need to figure this out. And I told him, listen, I'm going to go and I'm going to do some work here. Not for you, but for me. I need to fix this for myself. And that's when I started doing really deep work, learning about attachment styles, learning about human psychology, learning about bonding styles, learning about neuroscience, rewiring. I really went heavy on that. And he had to do his part as well. It wasn't just a one-way street, okay? And the way to make it work is to really grow together as a couple. That's the beautiful part of partnership.
A lot of these modern women continue to run their mouths and say that we don't need you like that anymore. We don't need you. You ain't needed for this. Well, what actually do you bring to the table? I don't bring anything to your table, because I've already proved to you through my actions what I bring to the table. But because you're looking for some other foolishness in your delusional standards, I'm not enough for you.
Okay, future hubby, wherever you're at, your girl is struggling. Okay, what do we have? We got an oil change. We got check engine light. We got E. We're on 9 miles to E.
Once these guys tasted just an inkling, just a small amount of, oh, this is what it feels like to be at peace, and not chasing around somebody that don't actually like you, a lot of men are choosing that. So when a man says, I'm not really all into that stuff, that's what a man means by, oh, I'm opted out of dating. I don't have time for the BS.
Men deserve the same respect a woman gets every day. The fact that I could be stuck on an interstate with my car and 5 guys will probably pass by and try to help me, whereas if it was a man stuck on the side of the road, no one would stop for him. Okay? Shout out to the men that don't need someone to stop for them. Shout out to the men who don't let their emotions dictate how they go about life. Just simple as that, you know?
To understand, and what you need to understand about men is it's not necessarily that I'm afraid of marriage or commitment. I'm afraid. I'm concerned about what happens when I give you the commitment, when I give you the exclusivity, how you act a fool all of a sudden. But yeah, I mean, honestly, truly, a lot of these modern women are acting a fool well before that. So there's your sign.
The last stage in a failed marriage is this: when either or both parties say, we just inhabit a house. Men, when you are firing on all 8 cylinders, women in general will admire, desire, and conspire to be with you. You will have options and never have a take what you can get mindset. No more low-hanging fruit. Let's just get away from women for a second. Be a man that people want to be around, that people conspire to be around. That's a great life. Men, if you want a woman to belong to you and be in your frame, you have to do the work and be follow-worthy. Then your biggest problem will be, who will I be with this weekend? Versus, oh, here comes another weekend. Getting your together equals having options.
Women cannot hold men to traditional standards, not be traditional themselves, and then expect a man to pay full price for a depreciating asset. I'm going to say that again. You cannot be non-traditional women and want the man to be traditional on his side and pay full price for a depreciating asset that isn't traditional on his end. Because whether women want to accept it or not, the reason why men were traditional and chivalrous was because women were virgins. They were polite, they were feminine, they were submissive. And when you got a wife, she was a wife, not a boss babe, not a boss. None of this stupidity that's going on. So what's happened is female liberation has given you guys the liberation you want. But with every action comes a reaction. Female liberation, guys realize they don't got to pay for the cow when they can get the milk for free. You guys created this. Yeah. So we got to take some accountability here. You can't complain about the state of men because men always acquiesce to the situation and adapt and innovate to get sex.
Women are going to be chasing, if they genuinely believe I'm this attractive, they're going to be chasing after a caliber of man that might give them but isn't going to give them a relationship, marriage, a ring, because there's a difference that occurs when it comes to dating. Men will sleep with a woman that he would never be in a relationship with. He's just using her for he'll date down, essentially, sleep down. And so because this is a phenomenon, you can have a woman who's a 5, a 6, or a 7. She can go like a guy who's more attractive than her. A woman, you just got to be pleasant and offer. That's all it takes for you as women. Not all like hyper attractive men are going to bite on that, but like on Tinder, on dating apps, you see the attention go to the top 10% of men on the dating apps. Meanwhile, like the rest are fighting over scraps and pretty much just like completely zeroed out. And so if women are not realistic about their own attractiveness, they're going to reject men who are actually their league, their equivalent, and they're going to be sleeping with, pursuing, attempting to date really attractive men.
There is not a man in this world that goes to work and leaves out at 5 o'clock in the morning with whatever he does to go and pick up trash cans for $22 an hour for 16 hours a day to come home with his paycheck to say, I'm going to control this. There is not a man, there is not a soldier that goes and gets deployed to Iraq to get shot at and IED'd and bombed for 15 months out of the time to risk his life for his country just so he can come back home and control this. Men have standards and we've woken up to the bull. The fact of the matter is, I don't want you to be a hoe. If you want me to protect and provide, because quite frankly, you would not even you wouldn't even look my way if I couldn't, I should be able to have some standards of you. So if that means that you ain't popping and stripping and showing you everybody in the world, I should not be wrong for not wanting you to be a hoe. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not controlling you. I have standards for you. Now, when you tell me that, hey, I would not date a work at McDonald's making minimum wage because he can't show me nothing or can't be nothing for me, I respect it. That's your standard. But here I come and say, hey, I would not want a woman that is going to broadcast her body that I have worked extremely hard for to have access to the freaking world. I'm wrong then. So you can have standards, but I can't.
She wants to wear the pants in the relationship, but she also wants a masculine man. She wants a man to lead, but villainizes him every time he does. If you want men to act masculine, you have to treat them like men. You can't lead every decision, control the relationship, and then wonder why you feel exhausted, irritated, and unsupported. Masculine men lead, they protect, they provide direction. But here's the issue, when men step into that role, many women villainize them. A man says, don't wear that tonight, and he's labeled controlling and insecure, when he's simply just protecting. A man says, I'm not okay with your attitude, and is called manipulative, when he's just being clear about his expectations. A man says, I don't tolerate disrespect, and suddenly he's a narcissist, when in reality, he's just practicing self-respect. This isn't oppression, this is just masculine leadership. Masculinity has been demonized so much that women want strong men but are not allowing strength. Control isn't femininity, it's wounded energy. It comes from fear, not power. If you don't trust a man to lead, that's a conversation to have, not a role to sabotage. You cannot emasculate a man and still expect him to show up as one. If you want a masculine partner, stop punishing masculine behavior and labeling it as these negative buzzwords. Even when you're single, let men lead, let men protect, and let them be men. Because what you honor grows and what you attack disappears.
A secure woman is busy. She is not texting men all day. She's not sitting there ready to respond, wondering why he hasn't responded instantaneously when she's responding instantaneously. And, oh, does he not like me? He's not responding as quickly as he did. And you have too much time because you're able to think that way. If you're able to think that way in this obsessive, toxic, freak out, anxious, spirally way, you are spending too much time doing nothing for yourself. You're not going outside and making friends. You're not going to singles events. You're not enriching your life. You're not going to adoration. You're not contributing to society. You're not going to the gym. You're not plucking your eyebrows. You're not getting rid of your mustache. You're not doing the things that make you feel beautiful and gorgeous and happy and joyful and focused on the Lord. You're not reading your Bible. You're not filling your calendar. A man switches up plans on you last minute and you immediately corral yourself. You change your schedule for him. You do all these things. You rearrange your life for him because you have nothing going on. That's a problem. You need to have something going on. You need to be busy in a good, healthy way, in an ordered way that makes you feel beautiful and desirable and cherishable. You should not be shocked when a man cherishes you. You should be like, yes, my life is full and beautiful and I'm busy, but you are making time for me. You are asking me on a date and you're doing it in a respectful way. I will make time for you.
I see so many TikToks talking about how being an independent woman is so much better, and it's amazing that you don't have to depend on anyone else. But I'm exhausted. I own my own house. I can pay my own bills. I work full-time 5 days a week. I'm a full-time single mum, and I think it's just exhausting because of how lonely it can be. So I go out, I go clubbing just to be surrounded by people, or my one night a week that I don't have my baby boy, and I'm lonely, and it's sad because all I do is cook, I clean, I take care of my son, and I work, and I hate this system, and I hate the dating scene. If you've been single, you know what the dating scene looks like in 2023. It's non-existent. It's a bunch of just people in hookup culture, and as much as I've tried to do that, it's not for me. It just makes me feel worse about myself.
If I run in here and work out, it just got put on my spirit. I know a lot of times people don't understand, especially women, why I vouch for men, at times. And it's simply because I have experienced life, right, to a certain degree, and I'm still experiencing life, right? But I have seen good men get done wrong by women. Like, I've seen it. I've seen men get drugged through the ringer by women. Unnecessarily, simply because they can't get their way. I've seen it. The same way I've seen, and I have also experienced firsthand, being dogged out by men or not treated, the way that I should have been treated. I mean, I've experienced that too. I've seen that. I've had friends that experience as well, but I can't say that one is worse than the other. I feel like I've heard equal stories, and I'm not just talking about friends. I'm talking about, just people that I've worked with, just hearing some of the stuff they have gone through. Yes, there's just terrible people out here. It's not more than the other. I've heard stories about terrible women just like I've heard stories about terrible men. I mean, period. So that's why I'm like, I don't understand why women put themselves on such a higher pedestal than men, as if we're just better individuals. We're not. We're absolutely not. Okay? It's, there's not a lot of good people in this world, because there's too many people that are just selfish. You can't be a good person and be selfish. Too many of y'all are just thinking about yourselves, right? And it's just becoming to a point where nobody pretty much wants to deal with each other. It just seems like it's a lot of that. Y'all rather not deal with each other because you're worried about self more than anything else, when it's supposed to be a community type effort. So yes, a lot of times I'm going to call out women, but I do call out men at times. And I've seen women dog out good men repeatedly. So I don't understand how y'all don't see this or y'all miss this. And y'all always call men predators. Y'all always say that, but we have to have men for safety and protection, okay? So that means there have to be men that cooperate in knowing that they have to protect us, okay? I don't understand what the issue is. We need men, period. And a lot of y'all dog them out and act like they're worthless. And men are such predators, right? Y'all might want to look up the stats when it comes to child cases. Because between both genders, women hold the higher percentage when it comes to child cases. Okay? So we even hear how terrible women are, not only to men, but to their own kids. You can watch true crime documentaries to hear how women are terrible to their children. So we're no better.
So I shared this video.
When someone hits you with the, I'm not looking for a relationship, I just want something casual, nothing serious, men are notorious for this, so yes, I'm talking to you. I need you to understand that intimacy without a label is still intimacy.
And I just want to clarify a few things. So here we go. The point that I was making was simply this. No commitment, no. Simple, right? Because if you're saying that you're looking for something serious and you come across a man who tells you that he's not looking for something serious and you decide to allow him into your space and your bed anyway, he cannot be held responsible for the feelings that you go on to catch. Especially if they've made it abundantly clear that they're not looking for a relationship, okay? When a man tells you what he wants, believe him. Do not try to change his mind. Because a lot of the time, it's about conquering you rather than being with you. That's point number one. An additional point, if you are actually in the casual game and you have decided to see a man casually until you find your boyfriend, your husband, or somebody who ticks your boxes, just know that your boundaries are going to have to be A1. Because so often guys say they want casual, but what they mean is that they want a girlfriend that they can drain and then say, wait, we're not serious, which means that they want you to be their therapist. They want to, of course, use your body for their pleasure. They want to hang out and chill and laugh, but they don't want you to catch feelings. And that's fine as long as you're the type of person who can do that. You have to know who you are. If you are not able to do that with a man who is physically attractive, don't do it. Because what you'll find is that men who say that they want casual very rarely want to be with women who also want casual, like real casual, not fake casual, not I can change his mind, but real casual, where he starts to talk about his feelings and you say, whoa. we're casual. We're not talking about feelings right now. Or if he tries to make you his pen pal buddy, like he's sending you messages, all throughout the day, like what you up to, and you don't message him back. And then the next time you see him and he's got like this attitude, like, oh, so why didn't you message me? Because I'm not operational right now. This is casual, which means that you and I speak when it's time to speak. And it sounds awful, it sounds harsh, and so many think that they can do boyfriend casual, see each other every single day, hanging out, just, whatever, and then not catch feelings. Or they catch feelings, or they think, oh wait, hold on, are we both catching feelings? And then he's like, nah. And you're like, you're offended. I'm not here to judge anybody. Like I said, nuance is the word of the year. But in the interest of not breaking your own heart or making your own life miserable, you do need to have, boundaries in place. If you are looking for something serious and that's the man that you want to be with, no commitment, no sex. Okay? Like, absolutely not. If you come across a man that you like and you're like, this man is never going to be my boyfriend, have the time of your life. However, keep the boundaries. Okay? And yes, I have to specify because I get the DMs all the time about, blurred lines, unblur the lines. Make sure everybody knows their place. Make sure everybody knows where they're supposed to be. Save yourself the headache. Don't be a slow learner.
Why is it so hard dating in 2026? Somebody answer that for me. Quickly. So, hey besties, let's talk about why is it hard dating in 2026. Now, I'm going to speak specifically for Gen Z. I can't speak for no other generation. But for Gen Z, I personally feel like it's a accountability thing on both ends, and I'm going to tell you why. But I do think it's mostly the men's fault. Don't hate me. But you do have your guys who only come to a girl because they want to have they only stringing her along or being with her because they don't want to see nobody else with her. Or they want to do everything under the sun that's a relationship thing, but don't want the commitment or the responsibility. And I mean, it could be vice versa. But most females I know, we don't do casual. We like to be, we know what we want and we want to be in a relationship. We want to be in love. Like, we don't do casual. I will also say, you dudes, y'all prefer the girl who shake her butt for social media, who don't have no ambition, not chasing no dreams or goals or any of that, versus the girl on this side who's working, taking care of herself, chasing her dreams, and has ambition and dedicating herself to something to better herself. Y'all don't like the good girl, and I don't know why. And I was just asking somebody, like, I work 2 jobs. I got my own car. I'm in school. I'm doing something with my life. But why is it that the good girl never wins? Why? But on the other hand, y'all go to the girl with no self-respect and y'all treat her so right, and then when she do you wrong, you go back to the good girl and you try to take that behavior or that hurt out on her for the bad decision that you made. But I feel like it also can go hand in hand with females taking out their hurt and anger on a good dude. Because I will say, it's coming up on a year since I've been out of my relationship, and sometimes I do still get iffy about it, and I'm like in therapy and stuff to like resolve my emotions or whatever and my anger from that. But I found myself taking it out on a dude who did not deserve it. A dude who was taking me out, paying for stuff and all of that. And I took out my anger on him. And I don't even know why. Like, I couldn't tell you. Like, I don't even know why. But it's like, he didn't deserve that. And I think a lot of us need to stop trying to jump from, and this is what my counselor told me. A lot of us need to stop jumping from person to person, trying to get a distraction, and take a step back to heal and unpack the necessary baggage we need to, instead of going to hurt somebody else who don't deserve it. And while I do think it's mostly the dude's fault, I know I can take accountability for the person that I hurt. Or, you know, like, all of us need, because I'm sure all of us have treated somebody some way that we're not proud of. And we should all take accountability. Or we should all just, I don't really know. I don't have the answer all the way. But, like, I just want to know, what do y'all think makes dating hard? Because for me, that's what I think it is. Then that's why I'm taking a step back. Because I don't want nobody around me. Leave me alone. Like, for real. Okay, bye.
Men, where are all the good men at? You might go to a club. How come the men ain't at the club? How come the men are acting in this way? Because you said that you didn't want a man in your face. Well, that didn't mean that they didn't have to come. I'm not going to come somewhere that you're going to be acting a fool and all up in my face talking crazy, or even putting your phone up to record me and act like I did something wrong just because I approached you. Are you serious?